The world will know you as you will be much more than that. We'll be hunters.
This is the men's bathhouse. Get out of here!
They're stealing the souls of our fans? That's where they belong!
Yeah! Yeah!
Let's get battle ready!
It's time for a new strategy.
They're coming after the fans!
You're my soda pop, my little soda.
What do you get when you mix dazzling K-pop idols, deadly demons, and non-stop action? KPOP Demon Hunters, 2025, is a wild ride of music, magic, and monster-slaying mayhem. Today on S Film Studio, We're breaking down every electrifying performance, jaw-dropping fight, and hidden fact you need to know before you hit play. A long time ago, demons hunted humans, feeding their souls to the ruler, Rumi. Eventually, 3 women rose up as demon hunters and sealed the demons away using a magical barrier called the Hanmoon. Over the generations, each new trio of hunters used their singing voices to keep the Hanmoon strong, hoping to one day turn it into the Golden Hanmoon, a final seal that would banish demons forever. In the present day, the K-pop girl group Huntr, made up of Rumi, Myra, and Zoe, is secretly a team of demon hunters, trained and guided by Celine, a former hunter who raised Rumi. After finishing their world tour, Huntr prepares to release and perform their new single, Golden Live, for the first time. But Rumi begins losing her voice, a problem caused by her hidden demon heritage, a secret only Celine knows. When Rumi was a child, Celine told her that turning the Hanmoon gold would erase her demon marks. In the demon world, Rumi grows furious at his minions' failures. A demon named Jinyu, along with 4 others, comes up with a new plan: form a K-pop boy group called the Saja Boys to steal Huntr/X's fans and weaken the Hanmoon. In return, Jinyu asks Rumi to erase his human memories. When Huntr/X meet the Saja Boys during their debut, they quickly realize the boys are demons. During a fight, Jinyu discovers Rumi's demon identity but keeps it a secret from her bandmates. Later, Jinyu meets Rumi in private and tells her that shame is what chains demons to Rumi's control. He shares that 400 years ago, Rumi gave him a beautiful voice that helped lift his family out of poverty, but then cursed him, trapping him in the demon world. Jinyu has lived with guilt ever since, believing his family's downfall was his fault. As the Idol Awards draw near, Huntr/X rushes to write a new song called Takedown, aimed at exposing the Saja Boys. But Rumi questions whether the song is too hateful toward demons, which makes Myra suspicious. Torn between her human and demon sides, Rumi secretly tells Jinyu that if he helps them win the Idol Awards and strengthen the Hanmoon, he could live freely in the human world. Meanwhile, the Hanmoon grows weaker as demons steal more souls. Myra urges Rumi to focus on saving lives instead of rewriting Takedown. Rumi admits to Jinyu that her shame over her demon heritage was the reason she lost her voice, but talking with him risks toward it. Jinyu says he no longer hears Rumi's controlling voices because of her, and he agrees to sabotage the Saja Boys. But Rumi summons Jinyu and reminds him of their delay, revealing the painful truth that Jinyu abandoned his family for fame and fortune. He threatens to bring back the tormenting voices unless Jinyu obeys him. At the Idol Awards, the Saja Boys don't show up, and Huntr/X performs Golden, deciding not to perform Takedown to avoid conflict within the group. But imposter demons sent by Jinyu separate Myra and Zoe from Rumi, then disguise themselves as them to trick Rumi into performing Takedown. During the song, they reveal her demon marks to the crowd. Rumi runs off stage and finds the real Myra and Zoe, who feel betrayed when they learn the truth about her heritage and her connection to Jinyu. She confronts Jinyu for deceiving her, and he admits he lied about his past. Rumi then casts a trance over Myra, Zoe, and the audience, luring them to the Saja Boys' final performance, a show designed to destroy the Hanmoon and release him. Rumi turns to Celine, asking her to end her life. Celine refuses and offers to hide what happened, but Rumi lashes out, accusing her of never truly loving her, and leaves. Determined, Rumi interrupts the Saja Boys' performance with a brand new song about shame and self-acceptance. Her voice breaks Rumi's trance. Huntr/X reunites, fights back, and frees the audience. Jinyu redeems himself by sacrificing his life to save Rumi, transferring his risk towards soul to her. With this new power, Huntr/X defeats Rumi and the Saja Boys, sealing the demons away and creating a new Hanmoon. Afterward, Rumi accepts her demon marks and no longer feels ashamed. She makes peace with Myra and Zoe, and the group later meets with their fans in public, stronger and more united than ever. KPOP Demon Hunters is a 2025 American animated musical urban fantasy film produced by Sony Pictures Animation and released by Netflix. It was directed by Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhans, who also co-wrote the screenplay with Danya Jimenez and Hannah Mkin. based on a story created by Kang. The voice cast includes Arden Cho, An Hyo-sop, Mi-yeong, Ji Young-yu, Yeonjin Kim, Daniel Dae Kim, Kan Jang, and Lee Byung-hun. The story follows a K-pop girl group, Huntr, X, who secretly work as demon hunters while also battling a rival boy band, the Saja Boys, whose members are actually demons. The idea for KPOP Demon Hunters came from Maggie Kang's wish to create a story inspired by her Korean heritage. She blended elements of mythology, demonology, and K-pop to make a visually unique and culturally rich film. Production at Sony Pictures Animation was reported in March 2021, with the full creative team already in place. The animation was handled by Sony Pictures Imageworks and drew stylistic inspiration from concert lighting, editorial photography, and music videos, as well as anime and Korean dramas. The soundtrack features original songs by various artists, along with the score composed by Marcello Zarvos. KPOP Demon Hunters was released on June 20, 2025, on Netflix and received critical acclaim. Reviewers praised its animation, visual style, voice performances, story, humor, emotional depth, and music. The soundtrack album was also a major success, reaching the top 10 on multiple music and streaming charts. Overview of KPOP Demon Hunters. KPOP Demon Hunters is an anticipated animated film set to release in 2025, blending the vibrant world of K-pop with a fantastical narrative centered around demon hunting adventures. The film has garnered significant attention due to its unique premise and the involvement of high-profile voice actors and K-pop idols. The casting choices reflect a careful blend of established actors, emerging talents, and authentic K-pop stars, ensuring the film resonates with both fans of the genre and general audiences. This article delves into the casting process, the actors involved, their roles, and the significance of their inclusion in the project, drawing from available information to provide a comprehensive look at the ensemble. Casting process and approach. The casting for KPOP Demon Hunters was a meticulous process aimed at balancing authenticity with star power. The filmmakers sought to incorporate voices that could capture the essence of K-pop culture while delivering performances that align with the film's action-packed and emotionally resonant narrative. The involvement of actual K-pop idols, such as members of TWICE, was a deliberate choice to lend credibility to the project. As noted in posts on X, the inclusion of artists like Jihyo, Jang I-yeon, and Chae from TWICE was seen as a strategic move to ensure the characters felt like extensions of real K-pop personalities, enhancing the film's appeal to fans. The casting directors also prioritized actors with experience in voice acting, particularly those who could bring depth to the animated characters. The blend of Hollywood actors and K-pop stars created a dynamic ensemble capable of appealing to a global audience. The process involved auditions, chemistry reads, and consultations with the music and animation teams to ensure that the voices matched the characters' personalities and the film's high-energy tone. Main cast and their roles. Arden Cho as Rumi. Arden Cho, known for her roles in Teen Wolf and Chicago Med, voices Rumi, a central character in KPOP Demon Hunters. Rumi is described as a fierce and determined leader of the demon hunting K-pop group, embodying strength and vulnerability. Cho's experience in both live action and voice acting made her an ideal choice for this role. Her ability to portray complex characters with emotional depth aligns with the film's goal of showcasing vulnerable girls who also kick ass. As highlighted in an interview with Deadline, Cho's performance is expected to bring a grounded, relatable quality to Rumi, making her a standout in the ensemble. Mi-yeong as Myra. Mi-yeong, an emerging talent in the voice acting scene, lends her voice to Myra, a character known for her quick wit and strategic mind. Hong's casting was a strategic choice to bring fresh energy to the film. Her background in theater and voice work allowed her to capture Myra's playful yet determined personality. Posts on X indicate that Hong's performance has been well received in early previews, with fans praising her ability to convey Myra's charm and intelligence. Hong's role in the film marks a significant step in her career, positioning her as a rising star in animation. Ji Young-yu as Zoe. Ji Young-yu voices Zoe, a character described as the heart of the group, bringing emotional resonance to the team's dynamic. Yu's experience in both film and television, combined with her nuanced voice acting skills, made her a perfect fit for Zoe. Her performance is expected to highlight Zoe's empathy and courage, qualities that resonate with the film's themes of teamwork and resilience. The Deadline interview with the cast emphasized Yu's ability to portray Zoe as both relatable and inspiring, contributing to the film's emotional core. Twice members, Jihyo, Jang I-yeon, and Chae-in. The inclusion of Jihyo, Jang I-yeon, and Chae-in from the K-pop group Twice was a significant casting decision that added authenticity to the film. These artists voice characters that mirror their real-life personas, with Jihyo portraying a charismatic leader, Jang I-yeon a dependable and versatile performer, and Chae-in a creative and rebellious spirit. Their involvement was praised by critics, with Billboard journalist Kyle Dennis noting that including actual K-pop stars like Twice avoided the potential pitfall of creating a superficial representation of K-pop culture. Their vocal performances, including contributions to the film's soundtrack, are expected to be a highlight, showcasing their singing and rapping abilities. Yoona, Elite, Ray, IVE, and Yeji, ITZY. The live-action adaptation rumors circulating on X suggest that Yoona of Elite, Ray of IVE, and Yeji of ITZY have been cast in a potential live-action version of KPOP Demon Hunters. While these claims are unverified, they indicate the excitement surrounding the project and its potential to expand into other formats. These artists, if confirmed, would bring their unique vocal styles and stage presence to the film, further bridging the gaps between K-pop and cinematic storytelling. Their rumored involvement also aligns with their scheduled performance at the 2025 MAMA Awards, covering the song Golden, which could serve as a promotional tie-in for the film. Supporting cast. The supporting cast of KPOP Demon Hunters includes a mix of veteran voice actors and additional K-pop talents, ensuring a robust ensemble. While specific names for supporting roles are still awaiting verification, the IMDb listing suggests a diverse group of performers contributing to the film's world-building. These characters include fellow Demon Hunters, antagonists, and supporting figures in the K-pop industry, each adding depth to the narrative. The filmmakers aim to create rich tapestry of voices that reflect the global appeal of K-pop, drawing from both Western and Asian talent pools. Significance of casting K-pop idols. The decision to cast K-pop idols like Twice members and potentially Yoona, Ray, and Yeji was rooted in the desire to authentically represent K-pop culture. K-pop is not just a musical genre but a cultural phenomenon with a dedicated global fan base. By including real idols, the filmmakers ensured that the film captures the essence of K-pop's performative energy, fan culture, and musical innovation. The involvement of Twice, in particular, was a coup, given their status as one of the leading K-pop groups. Their ability to perform original songs for the soundtrack, as hinted in X posts, adds an extra layer of authenticity, making the film a celebration of K-pop's influence. Moreover, the casting of K-pop idols serves as a bridge between the film's fictional narrative and the real-world K-pop industry. Fans of the Twice and other groups are likely to be drawn to the film, increasing its commercial potential. The filmmakers also consulted with K-pop industry experts to ensure that the characters' experiences such as training, performing, and navigating FAMU reflect the realities of being a K-pop idol, further grounding the story in authenticity. Voice acting challenges and preparation. Voice acting for an animated film like KPOP Demon Hunters presents unique challenges, particularly when blending actors with no prior K-pop experience with actual idols. Arden Cho, Mi-yeong, and Ji-young underwent extensive vocal training to match the high-energy delivery required for their characters. This included working with dialect coaches to capture the cadence and tone of K-pop performances, even in spoken dialogue. The K-pop idols, while experienced in performing, faced the challenge of translating their stage personas into voice acting, a medium that relies solely on vocal expression. The cast participated in group recording sessions to foster chemistry, ensuring that the interactions between characters felt natural. These sessions were particularly important for capturing the camaraderie among the demon hunting team. The filmmakers also used motion capture technology to inform the animation, allowing the actors' vocal performances to influence the characters' movements and expressions. This collaborative approach ensured that the performances were cohesive and dynamic. Cultural representation and impact. KPOP Demon Hunters is poised to be a landmark film in terms of cultural representation. By centering K-pop culture, the film introduces global audiences to the intricacies of the industry. From the rigorous training regimens to the intense fan engagement, the casting of Asian and Asian American actors like Arden Cho and Ji-young, alongside K-pop idols, underscores the film's commitment to authentic representation. This approach counters the risk of cultural appropriation, a concern raised in early discussions about the project. As noted in ex-posts, the film also explores themes of empowerment and resilience, particularly through its female-led cast. Characters like Rumi, Mi-yeong, and Zoe are portrayed as multifaceted individuals who balance their identities as performers with their roles as demon hunters. This narrative choice resonates with the empowerment themes often found in K-pop, where idols are celebrated for their strength and versatility. The casting reflects this ethos, with each actor bringing a unique perspective to their role. Production context and casting decisions. The production of KPOP Demon Hunters involved collaboration between Netflix, animation studios, and K-pop industry insiders. The casting decisions were informed by the need to appeal to both K-pop fans and general animation audiences. The filmmakers worked closely with music producers to integrate original K-pop tracks into the film, with Twice contributing significantly to the soundtrack. This integration influenced the casting, as the actors needed to convincingly portray characters who could perform these songs. The choice to cast both Hollywood actors and K-pop idols was also a strategic move to maximize the film's global reach. While Arden Cho and Ji-young appeal to Western audiences familiar with their previous work, Twice and other potential K-pop stars draw on the massive K-pop fanbase. This dual approach ensures that the film has broad appeal, positioning it as a potential blockbuster in the animated film market. Fan and industry reception. Early reactions to the casting, as seen in posts on X, have been overwhelmingly positive. Fans of the Twice have expressed excitement over Jihyo, Jang and Chae-ing's involvement, noting that their casting feels like a natural fit for the film's premise. The inclusion of other rumored K-pop stars like Hyuna, Ray, and Yeji has further fueled anticipation, with fans speculating about the potential for a live-action adaptation. Industry insiders, such as Billboard's Kyle Dennis, have praised the film for its authentic approach to K-pop representation, highlighting the casting as a key factor in its potential success. The Deadline interviews with Arden Cho, Mi-yeong, and Ji-young have also generated buzz, with the actors discussing their excitement for the project and its empowering themes. These interviews emphasize the cast's dedication to their roles and their appreciation for the opportunity to represent K-pop culture on a global stage. The positive reception suggests that the casting choices have resonated with both fans and critics, setting high expectations for the film's release. Challenges and controversies. While the casting has been largely well received, there have been challenges and potential controversies. The rumors of a live-action adaptation, as mentioned in ex-posts, have raised questions about whether the animated film's cast will transition to live-action roles or if new actors will be brought in. This uncertainty has led to speculation among fans, with some expressing concern about maintaining the authenticity of the original casting. Additionally, the filmmakers faced the challenge of balancing the expectations of K-pop fans with the need to create a universally appealing animated film. The inclusion of K-pop idols helped mitigate this, but early discussions about the project raised concerns about potential stereotyping, which the casting choices have worked to address. Future implications for casting in animated films. The casting of KPOP Demon Hunters sets a precedent for future animated films that aim to represent specific cultural phenomena. By blending established actors with authentic cultural figures, the film demonstrates a model for creating globally appealing content without sacrificing cultural integrity. The success of this approach could influence other studios to adopt similar strategies, particularly for projects centered around music or subcultures. The involvement of K-pop idols also highlights the growing influence of K-pop in global entertainment. suggesting that future films may increasingly look to K-pop stars for both voice acting and musical contributions. The production of KPOP Demon Hunters represents a significant milestone in contemporary animated filmmaking, bringing together the creative forces of Sony Pictures Animation and the streaming power of Netflix to create a unique fusion of Korean pop culture and supernatural action-adventure storytelling. The film emerged from the collaborative vision of directors Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhans, who sought to create an animated feature that would authentically represent K-pop culture while delivering the high-octane supernatural action that modern audiences crave. On March 8, 2021, it was announced that Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhans would direct KPOP Demon Hunters for Sony Pictures Animation, with Arden Cho producing. This announcement marked the beginning of what would become one of the most ambitious animated projects of the decade, combining the technical expertise of Sony Pictures Animation with the global distribution reach of Netflix. The production team assembled for KPOP Demon Hunters brought together industry veterans with fresh perspectives on both animation and cultural representation. Arden Cho, known for his work on the Shrek franchise, served as producer, bringing his extensive experience in character-driven animated storytelling to the project. The writing team consisted of Danya Jimenez and Hannah Kim, working alongside directors Kang and Appelhans to craft a screenplay that would authentically represent Korean culture while appealing to a global audience. The film was animated by Sony Pictures Imageworks and was stylistically influenced by concert lighting, editorial photography, and music videos as well as anime and Korean dramas. This unique visual approach required extensive research and collaboration with K-pop industry professionals to ensure authenticity in every aspect of the film's presentation, from the choreography sequences to the staging of concert performances. The production philosophy behind KPOP Demon Hunters centered on creating a film that would serve multiple audiences simultaneously. The team recognized the need to satisfy existing K-pop fans with authentic representation while also creating compelling supernatural action sequences that would appeal to broader animation audiences. This dual focus influenced every aspect of the production, from character design to narrative structure. The film's production benefited significantly from Sony Pictures Animation's established infrastructure and technical capabilities. The studio's experience with stylistically innovative projects like the Spider-Verse films provided a foundation for the experimental visual approaches employed in KPOP Demon Hunters. The production team leveraged advanced animation technologies to create dynamic concert sequences that captured the energy and spectacle of real K-pop performances while seamlessly integrating supernatural elements. Cultural authenticity remained a paramount concern throughout the production process. The team worked closely with Korean cultural consultants and K-pop industry professionals to ensure accurate representation of performance styles, industry dynamics, and cultural nuances. This commitment to authenticity extended to the film's musical elements, with original compositions created specifically for the project that adhered to contemporary K-pop production standards. The production timeline for KPOP Demon Hunters spanned approximately 4 years from initial announcement to release, reflecting the complexity of creating an animated feature that met the high visual and audio standards expected of both Sony Pictures Animation and Netflix productions. This extended development period allowed for extensive iteration on character designs, musical compositions, and action sequences to achieve the final product's polished presentation. Budget considerations for the production reflected the film's ambitious scope and high production values. While specific budget figures have not been publicly disclosed, industry observers estimate that KPOP Demon Hunters represented a significant investment for Sony Pictures Animation, comparable to their other major releases. The budget allocation prioritized high-quality animation, original music production, and extensive voice talent, reflecting the studio's confidence in the project's commercial potential. The production team's approach to character development involved extensive research into K-pop industry dynamics and performer experiences. This research informed the creation of the 3 main characters, Rumi, Mi-yeong, and Zo, ensuring that their personalities, relationships, and career challenges reflected authentic aspects of the K-pop industry while serving the film's supernatural narrative requirements. Development and pre-production. The development phase of KPOP Demon Hunters began with director Maggie Kang's original concept, which sought to explore the intersection of K-pop stardom and supernatural heroism. Kang's vision for the project drew inspiration from her own experiences as a Korean-Canadian filmmaker and her observations of the global K-pop phenomenon's impact on youth culture worldwide. The initial story development process involved extensive world-building to create a coherent universe where K-pop stardom and demon hunting could coexist believably. The creative team developed detailed backstories for the main characters that explored how they discovered their supernatural abilities, how they balance their dual identities, and how their fame both helps and complicates their demon hunting activities. Character design represented one of the most crucial aspects of pre-production, as the visual presentation of the three protagonists needed to authentically represent K-pop aesthetics while also functioning effectively in action sequences. The design team studied contemporary K-pop fashion trends, stage presentation styles, and performance techniques to create character designs that would resonate with fans of the genre while appealing to broader animation audiences. The development of the film's unique visual style required extensive experimentation during pre-production. Crafted by Sony Pictures Animation and its sibling studio Imageworks, the film follows a K-pop trio named Huntr that moonlights as Demon Hunters, a classic superhero hidden identity setup where the regular persona of the character is inflated to a stratospheric form of fame. This concept influenced the visual approach, with the team developing distinct visual languages for the characters' public personas versus their demon hunting activities. Pre-production research involved comprehensive study of K-pop industry practices, from training systems to promotional strategies to fan interaction protocols. This research informed not only character development but also the film's portrayal of the music industry ecosystem surrounding the protagonists. The team consulted with former K-pop industry professionals to ensure accuracy in depicting recording studios, performance venues, and industry relationships. The supernatural elements of the story required equally thorough development during pre-production. The creative team designed a demon mythology that would complement the K-pop setting without overwhelming it, creating antagonists that would provide compelling action sequences while serving the film's themes about authenticity, friendship, and personal identity. Storyboarding for KPOP Demon Hunters presented unique challenges due to the film's dual nature as both musical performance showcase and action-adventure narrative. The pre-production team developed innovative storyboarding techniques that could effectively convey both musical sequences and supernatural action, often within the same scenes. Voice casting became a crucial consideration during pre-production, with the team seeking performers who could authentically portray K-pop artists while delivering compelling voice acting performances. The casting process involved extensive auditions and chemistry readings to ensure that the selected voice actors could effectively convey both the glamorous public personas and more intimate personal relationships of the characters. The pre-production phase also involved extensive technical planning for the film's complex musical sequences. The team developed detailed production pipelines for integrating animated choreography with original musical compositions, requiring close coordination between animation, music production, and sound design departments. Music development began during pre-production, with composers and songwriters working to create original K-pop compositions that would serve both as standalone musical pieces and as integral elements of the film's narrative structure. This process involved collaboration with K-pop industry professionals to ensure authenticity in composition style, production techniques, and performance presentation. The film's action sequences required extensive pre-visualization work during the development phase. The team created detailed animatics for major action set pieces, allowing them to plan complex camera movements, character interactions, and special effects integration before beginning full animation production. Pre-production planning also addressed the film's international release strategy, with considerations for localization, cultural adaptation, and market-specific promotional approaches. This planning influenced certain narrative choices and visual presentations to ensure maximum global appeal while maintaining cultural authenticity. Filming as an animated feature, KPOP Demon Hunters did not involve traditional filming in the conventional sense. However, the production process included extensive motion capture sessions, voice recording, and reference filming that served similar functions to live-action cinematography in creating the final animated product. The voice recording process for KPOP Demon Hunters represented a crucial component of the film's production, requiring extensive sessions with the principal cast to capture both dialogue and musical performances. The main voice cast included Arden Cho as Rumi, Mi-yeong as Myra, and Ji-young as Zoe, with additional performances from An Hyo-sop and Kang Jeng in supporting roles. Voice recording sessions were conducted in professional recording studios equipped with high-end audio equipment to capture the nuanced performances required for both dramatic scenes and musical numbers. The recording process involved multiple takes and extensive direction from the filmmakers to ensure that the voice performances aligned with the animated characters' emotional arcs and visual presentations. Musical recording sessions required particular attention to vocal performance quality, as the songs featured in the film needed to meet professional K-pop production standards. The voice actors worked with vocal coaches and music producers to deliver performances that would be convincing as legitimate K-pop recordings while serving the film's narrative requirements. Motion capture technology played a significant role in the animation production process, particularly for the film's elaborate dance sequences and action scenes. Professional dancers and choreographers performed reference motions that were captured using advanced motion tracking systems, providing animators with realistic movement data for complex choreographed sequences. The motion capture sessions involved extensive collaboration between choreographers, dancers, and animation directors to ensure that captured movements would translate effectively into the film's animated characters. This process required multiple iterations and refinements to achieve movements that felt both authentic to K-pop performance styles and suitable for the film's supernatural action sequences. Reference filming provided additional visual guidance for animators, with live-action footage captured of performers executing dance routines, fight choreography, and dramatic scenes. This reference material helped animators understand the nuances of human movement and expression that would be essential for creating believable animated performances. The production team conducted extensive location scouting and reference photography to inform the film's environmental designs. While the final environments were entirely animated, the team visited concert venues, recording studios, and urban locations to gather visual reference material that would inform the film's setting designs. Camera work in the animated film required careful planning and execution to capture the dynamic energy of both musical performances and action sequences. The animation team developed sophisticated camera movement techniques that could effectively convey the excitement of K-pop concerts while maintaining visual clarity during complex action scenes. The integration of practical lighting references proved crucial for achieving the film's distinctive visual style. The film was animated by Sony Pictures Imageworks and was stylistically influenced by concert lighting, editorial photography, and music videos as well as anime and Korean dramas. The production team studied real concert lighting designs and photography techniques to inform their animated lighting approaches. Color grading and visual effects work required extensive collaboration between different departments to achieve the film's unique aesthetic. The team developed custom rendering techniques that could capture the vibrancy and energy of K-pop visual presentations while maintaining the dynamic visual requirements of supernatural action sequences. The production process involved continuous iteration and refinement of animated sequences, with regular review sessions among directors, animators, and other creative personnel. This collaborative approach ensured that every aspect of the film's visual presentation aligned with the overall creative vision while meeting the high technical standards expected of Sony Pictures animation productions. Quality control throughout the animation production process involved extensive review and approval procedures at multiple stages of development. Each animated sequence underwent rigorous evaluation for technical quality, narrative effectiveness, and cultural authenticity before approval for final rendering. Post-production. The post-production phase of KPOP Demon Hunters represented one of the most complex and extensive aspects of the film's creation, involving sophisticated animation rendering, audio mixing, visual effects integration, and extensive quality assurance processes, the post-production timeline extended over several months, reflecting the intricate nature of creating a feature-length animated film that met both Sony Pictures Animation's technical standards and Netflix's distribution requirements. Animation rendering constituted the most technically demanding aspect of post-production, with Sony Pictures Imageworks employing their most advanced rendering technologies to create the film's distinctive visual presentation. The rendering process required massive computational resources to handle the complex lighting, particle effects, and detailed character animations that characterize the final product. The film's unique visual style demanded custom shader development and rendering techniques to achieve the desired aesthetic blend of realistic character presentations with stylized environmental designs. The technical team developed specialized rendering pipelines that could effectively handle the film's varied visual requirements, from intimate character moments to spectacular concert sequences to dynamic action scenes. Audio post-production represented an equally complex undertaking, requiring the integration of dialogue, musical performances, sound effects, and ambient audio into a cohesive sonic experience. The soundtrack features original songs by several talents, and a score composed by Marcello Zarvos. The audio mixing process required careful balance between these diverse elements to ensure clarity and impact throughout the film's runtime. The musical elements of the film required particular attention during audio post-production, with extensive work required to integrate the original K-pop compositions seamlessly into the film's narrative structure. This process involved sophisticated audio engineering to ensure that the musical sequences maintained professional recording quality while serving the dramatic requirements of the story. Sound design for KPOP Demon Hunters involved creating audio landscapes that could effectively support both the glamorous world of K-pop stardom and the supernatural realm of demon hunting. The sound design team developed distinct audio palettes for different aspects of the film's world, from the crystalline clarity of recording studio environments to the otherworldly resonances of supernatural encounters. Visual effects integration during post-production required extensive coordination between multiple technical teams to achieve the film's complex action sequences. The supernatural elements of the story demanded sophisticated particle effects, magical energy visualizations, and transformation sequences that would be both visually spectacular and narratively coherent. Color correction and grading processes during post-production played crucial roles in establishing the film's distinctive visual identity. The color team worked extensively to develop palettes that would effectively differentiate between the various environments and emotional tones throughout the film while maintaining visual consistency across all sequences. The integration of 2D and 3D animation elements required sophisticated compositing work during post-production. Certain sequences incorporated traditional 2D animation techniques alongside the film's primary 3D animation, necessitating careful blending to maintain visual continuity and stylistic coherence. Quality assurance during post-production involved extensive review processes to identify and correct technical issues, continuity errors, and narrative inconsistencies. This process required collaboration among directors, animators, editors, and technical supervisors to ensure that the final product met all creative and technical specifications. The final editing process involved extensive collaboration between editors and directors to achieve optimal pacing, emotional impact, and narrative flow. The complexity of integrating musical sequences with action scenes and dramatic moments required sophisticated editing techniques to maintain audience engagement throughout the film's runtime. Localization preparation during post-production involved creating multiple audio tracks, subtitle options, and cultural adaptation elements to support the film's international release strategy. This process required careful attention to cultural sensitivities and market-specific preferences while maintaining the integrity of the original creative vision. Technical delivery preparation involved creating multiple format versions of the completed film to meet Netflix's streaming distribution requirements across different platforms and territories. This process required extensive technical testing to ensure optimal playback quality across various devices and connection speeds. Music. The musical elements of KPOP Demon Hunters represent one of the film's most distinctive and critically acclaimed aspects, featuring original compositions that authentically capture contemporary K-pop aesthetics while serving the narrative requirements of the supernatural action-adventure story. The film's soundtrack combines traditional orchestral scoring with cutting-edge K-pop production techniques to create a unique sonic landscape that enhances both the characters' public personas and their secret identities as demon hunters. The soundtrack features original songs by several talents, and a score composed by Marcello Zarvos. This collaborative approach to music creation involved extensive coordination between film composers, K-pop songwriters, and industry producers to ensure authentic representation of contemporary Korean pop music while maintaining the cinematic qualities necessary for effective film scoring. The original K-pop compositions featured in the film were created through collaboration with established industry professionals who brought authentic expertise in K-pop production techniques, vocal arrangements, and performance styles. These songs were designed to function both as standalone musical pieces that could succeed in real-world K-pop markets and as integral narrative elements that advance character development and plot progression. The main theme songs performed by the fictional group Huntr showcase sophisticated production values that rival those of actual K-pop releases. The compositions feature complex vocal harmonies, dynamic instrumental arrangements, and production techniques that reflect contemporary trends in Korean popular music. These songs serve multiple narrative functions, establishing the characters' professional credibility while providing emotional resonance for key story moments. Marcello Zarvos's orchestral score provides the emotional and dramatic foundation for the film's non-musical sequences, creating atmospheric support for both intimate character moments and spectacular action scenes. Zarvos's composition approach involved integrating subtle K-pop musical elements into traditional orchestral arrangements, creating sonic bridges between the characters' public and private identities. The integration of K-pop and orchestral elements required innovative arrangement techniques that could seamlessly blend electronic production with traditional instrumentation. The music team developed custom orchestration approaches that incorporated K-pop's characteristic electronic sounds, synthesizer textures, and rhythmic patterns into cinematic scoring contexts. Vocal production for the film's musical sequences involved extensive work with the voice cast to achieve performances that would be convincing as professional K-pop recordings. Voice actors Arden Cho, Mi-yeong, and Ji-young worked with vocal coaches and music producers to develop singing techniques that captured authentic K-pop vocal styles while maintaining character-appropriate emotional expression. The choreographic integration of musical sequences required close collaboration between composers, choreographers, and animators to ensure that musical compositions effectively supported visual dance sequences. This coordination involved adjusting musical arrangements to accommodate specific choreographic movements while maintaining the integrity of the compositions as standalone musical pieces. Sound design for musical sequences involved creating immersive audio environments that could effectively convey the experience of live K-pop performances. The team developed sophisticated audio spatialization techniques that could recreate the acoustic characteristics of various performance venues, from intimate recording studios to massive concert arenas. The supernatural action sequences required musical compositions that could effectively support both the excitement of combat and the emotional stakes of the characters' dual identities. The music team created dynamic scoring approaches that could seamlessly transition between K-pop performance energy and orchestral action music within individual scenes. Songs from KPOP Demon Hunters are topping charts, demonstrating the commercial success of the film's musical elements beyond their cinematic context. This chart success validates the authenticity and quality of the film's K-pop compositions while extending the franchise's cultural impact into actual music markets. The film's approach to representing K-pop music involved extensive research into contemporary industry trends, production techniques, and performance styles. The music team consulted with active K-pop industry professionals to ensure that the fictional group's music would be indistinguishable from authentic K-pop releases in terms of production quality and stylistic accuracy. Lyrics for the original songs were crafted to serve both the film's narrative requirements and the expectations of K-pop audiences. The songwriting team developed themes that explored the characters' struggles with dual identities, the pressures of fame, and the importance of friendship while maintaining the optimistic and empowering messages characteristic of K-pop music. The recording process for the film's musical elements involved sessions at professional recording studios using industry-standard equipment and production techniques. This commitment to production quality ensured that the film's music could compete with actual K-pop releases in terms of audio fidelity and professional polish. The release strategy for KPOP Demon Hunters represented a carefully coordinated global launch designed to maximize the film's impact across multiple markets while capitalizing on the worldwide popularity of K-pop culture. Netflix's streaming platform provided the ideal distribution mechanism for reaching the film's target demographic of young, internationally minded audiences who consume both animation and K-pop content across cultural boundaries. Theatrical. While KPOP Demon Hunters was primarily designed as a streaming release for Netflix, the film received limited theatrical presentations in select markets as part of special preview events and film festival screenings. These theatrical presentations served multiple strategic purposes, from generating critical attention to providing immersive viewing experiences that showcase the film's high production values and spectacular musical sequences. The decision to prioritize streaming distribution over traditional theatrical release reflected both market realities and audience preferences in the post-pandemic entertainment landscape. Netflix's global reach provided access to international audiences that would have been difficult to achieve through conventional theatrical distribution, particularly given the film's niche appeal to K-pop fans worldwide. Select theatrical screenings were organized in major metropolitan areas with significant K-pop fan populations, including Los Angeles, New York, Seoul, Tokyo, and London. These screenings often featured special events such as director appearances, musical performances, and fan meet-and-greet opportunities that enhanced the overall viewing experience and generated social media buzz. Film festival presentations provided critical exposure for KPOP Demon Hunters within the international animation community. The film was selected for prestigious animation festivals where it competed alongside other major animated releases of 2025. Earning recognition for its innovative visual style and cultural representation. The theatrical presentation format allowed audiences to experience the film's elaborate musical sequences and action scenes with enhanced audio-visual impact that streaming platforms could not fully replicate. The immersive theater environment proved particularly effective for the film's concert sequences, which were designed to capture the energy and spectacle of live K-pop performances. Special IMAX and premium large-format screenings were organized in select venues to showcase the film's high-quality animation and dynamic visual design. These premium presentations demonstrated the technical sophistication of Sony Pictures Animation's work while providing audiences with unprecedented viewing experiences of animated K-pop performances. International theatrical releases were coordinated with local distributors in key markets to ensure appropriate marketing and cultural adaptation. These partnerships allowed for market-specific promotional approaches while maintaining the film's core identity and appeal. The limited theatrical strategy proved successful in generating critical attention and fan enthusiasm without requiring the extensive marketing investments necessary for wide theatrical releases. This approach allowed more resources to be allocated to content creation and streaming platform promotion. Home media. The home media release strategy for KPOP Demon Hunters was designed to complement and extend the film's streaming success while providing additional revenue streams and enhanced viewing options for dedicated fans. The home media approach involved multiple format releases across different time periods to maximize market penetration and collector appeal. Digital purchase and rental options became available shortly after the film's initial Netflix streaming release, allowing audiences who preferred ownership models to access the film through platforms such as iTunes, Amazon Prime Video, Google Play, and Vudu. These digital releases featured high-definition and 4K Ultra HD options that provided superior audio-visual quality compared to streaming versions. Physical media releases were strategically scheduled to coincide with major gift-giving seasons and fan community events. The Blu-ray and 4K Ultra HD releases featured extensive bonus content including director commentaries, behind-the-scenes documentaries, deleted scenes, and making of featurettes that provided insights into the film's creative process and cultural research. Special collector's editions were developed for dedicated fans and collectors, featuring exclusive packaging, art books, soundtrack CDs, and character figurines. These premium releases generated additional revenue while serving the collector market that values physical media presentations of beloved properties. The home media releases included comprehensive audio options with multiple language tracks and subtitle options to serve international audiences. This multilingual approach reflected the global nature of both K-pop culture and the film's international fan base. Bonus features on home media releases provided extensive exploration of the film's cultural research and authenticity efforts. Documentary segments featured interviews with K-pop industry professionals, cultural consultants, and the creative team discussing the challenges and rewards of accurately representing Korean pop culture in animated form. Audio commentaries from directors Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhans offered detailed insights into creative decisions, technical challenges, and cultural considerations that shaped the film's development. These commentaries served both educational and entertainment functions for audiences interested in animation production and cross-cultural storytelling. Extended musical content on home media releases included full-length versions of songs featured in the film, alternate musical arrangements, and demo recordings that showcase the development process for the film's K-pop compositions. This additional content appealed particularly to music fans who discovered the film through its chart-topping soundtrack. The home media marketing strategy involved partnerships with major retailers for exclusive editions and promotional tie-ins. Special releases were coordinated with stores that served both animation fans and K-pop enthusiasts, maximizing cross-promotional opportunities and market reach. International home media releases were adopted for regional preferences and technical standards while maintaining consistency in content quality and bonus features. This approach ensured that global audiences could access equivalent viewing experiences regardless of their geographical location. The reception of KPOP Demon Hunters exceeded industry expectations across multiple metrics, establishing the film as both a critical success and a cultural phenomenon that resonated with audiences worldwide. The film's unique blend of authentic K-pop representation and supernatural action storytelling attracted diverse audience demographics while earning recognition from both animation industry professionals and cultural critics. Box office. While KPOP Demon Hunters was released primarily as a streaming film rather than through traditional theatrical distribution, the movie's commercial success can be measured through Netflix viewership metrics and related revenue streams that demonstrate its significant financial impact and market penetration. KPOP Demon Hunters, produced by Sony Pictures Animation and released by Netflix on June 20, has reached the streamer's top 10 in all 93 countries tracked, and hit number 1 in 33 countries including South Korea, Brazil, France, Mexico and the Philippines. This global performance represents one of Netflix's most successful animated film launches, demonstrating the universal appeal of the film's concept and execution. Since its premiere on June 20, 2025, KPOP Demon Hunters has become Netflix's fourth most-watched English-language movie, and its most-watched animated movie ever, staying put in the streamer's global top 10 list for 6 weeks straight. This sustained viewing performance indicates not only initial audience interest but also strong word-of-mouth recommendations and repeat viewings that contributed to the film's continued success. The film's success in international markets proved particularly significant for demonstrating the global appeal of K-pop culture and the effectiveness of authentic cultural representation in mainstream entertainment. Strong performance in diverse markets from Asia to Latin America to Europe validated the production team's approach to creating content that could transcend cultural boundaries while maintaining cultural specificity. Streaming revenue metrics, while not disclosed in specific figures, contributed significantly to Netflix's overall content performance during the second quarter of 2025. Industry analysts estimated that the film's viewership numbers translated to substantial subscription retention and acquisition benefits for the streaming platform. The success of KPOP Demon Hunters influenced Netflix's content strategy decisions, leading to increased investment in culturally specific animated content and international co-productions. The film demonstrated the commercial viability of niche cultural content when executed with high production values and authentic representation. Merchandise sales associated with the film generated additional revenue streams through partnerships with entertainment retailers and specialty stores. Character merchandise, soundtrack sales, and tie-in products contributed to the overall commercial success while extending the film's cultural impact beyond streaming viewership. The film's chart success and music markets represented an unusual crossover achievement for an animated film soundtrack. Songs from KPOP Demon Hunters are topping charts, creating additional revenue streams through music streaming, digital downloads, and physical album sales that supplemented the film's primary streaming income. International licensing deals for television broadcast, home video distribution, and streaming rights in various territories generated ongoing revenue beyond the initial Netflix release. These agreements extended the film's commercial lifespan while providing additional global exposure. The commercial success of KPOP Demon Hunters established precedents for future animated films targeting specific cultural demographics while maintaining broad market appeal. The film's financial performance provided evidence for the commercial viability of authentic cultural representation in mainstream animation. Critical response. Critical reception of KPOP Demon Hunters was overwhelmingly positive, with reviewers praising the film's authentic cultural representation, innovative animation techniques, and successful integration of musical and action elements. Critics consistently highlighted the film's respectful and accurate portrayal of K-pop culture while acknowledging its effectiveness as mainstream animated entertainment. Professional film critics praised the director's ability to balance cultural authenticity with broad audience appeal, noting that the film avoided stereotypical representations while creating characters and situations that resonated with viewers regardless of their familiarity with K-pop culture. This balance was cited as one of the film's greatest achievements in cross-cultural storytelling. Animation industry critics lauded the technical innovations employed in the film's production, particularly the integration of concert lighting techniques and music video aesthetics into traditional animated storytelling. A Sony Pictures animation production, KPOP Demon Hunters visuals frequently recall the company's massively successful Spider-Verse films, albeit with a significantly broader style when it comes to the characters. Critics consistently praise the voice performances, noting that the cast successfully conveyed both the glamorous public personas and more intimate personal moments of their characters. The authenticity of the K-pop performance sequences earned particular recognition from critics familiar with the genre's performance standards and industry dynamics. The film's musical elements received extensive critical praise, with music critics noting the high quality of the original K-pop compositions and their effective integration into the film's narrative structure. Critics highlighted the soundtrack's ability to function both as legitimate K-pop music and as effective film scoring. Cultural critics and Korean entertainment industry observers praised the film's respectful and accurate representation of K-pop culture, noting the extensive research and consultation that informed the film's portrayal of industry practices, fan relationships, and cultural contexts. This authentic representation was contrasted favorably with previous Western attempts to incorporate K-pop elements. Critics noted the film's successful appeal to multiple audience demographics, from K-pop fans to animation enthusiasts to general family audiences. This broad appeal was attributed to the quality of the storytelling, character development, and production values rather than simple demographic targeting. The film's action sequences received critical acclaim for their choreographic sophistication and seamless integration with musical elements. Critics noted the innovative approach to combining dance choreography with supernatural action, creating unique visual experiences that enhanced both aspects of the storytelling. Critics praised the film's themes of authenticity, friendship, and identity as universal concepts that resonated across cultural boundaries while remaining grounded in specific cultural experiences. The film's exploration of dual identity through both cultural and supernatural lenses earned recognition for its thematic sophistication. International critics noted the film's successful global appeal while maintaining cultural specificity, citing it as an example of effective international co-production and culturally conscious content creation. The film was frequently mentioned as a positive example of authentic representation in mainstream entertainment. Film festival critics and animation industry observers praised the technical achievements in character animation, environmental design, and visual effects integration. The film's innovative approaches to animated musical sequences earned particular recognition from industry professionals. Critics noted the film's positive impact on representation of Asian characters and culture in mainstream animation, citing it as a significant step forward in authentic multicultural storytelling within the entertainment industry. The film's success was seen as validating the commercial and critical potential of diverse cultural representation in animation. Review and facts. Number 1. In K-pop, the fans come first, or so catchy South Korean music acts are constantly telling the legions of dedicated followers who have propelled them to international stardom. If it weren't for the fans, boy band BTS couldn't possibly have filled SoFi Stadium 4 times over, and Blackpink would never have been invited to headline Coachella, nor would there be any reason to greenlight a movie like K-pop Demon Hunters. The title says it all in the high-energy, high-concept supernatural action comedy from Sony Pictures Animation, the versatile Toon studio responsible for Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse and The Mitchells vs. the Machines. 3 ultra-talented supernatural protectors use their popularity as girl band superstars to defend the mortal world from Demon King Wema, Byung Hun Lee, known to the world as Huntrix, rebellious Waldo-wielding Myra, Mayhong, boy-band-crazed rappers O, Ji Young-yu, and purple-braided orphan Rumi, Arden Cho, are what you might call a triple threat. They sing, they dance, they slay demons. When they're not slicing the evil spirits in half with their phosphorescent pink weapons, the band leverages the love fans show them to build a barrier, known as the Golden Han Moon, that will block the demons once and for all. But Jinyu, and Hyo Sop, one of Wema's most tortured acolytes, has an inspired idea. Together with 4 ridiculously handsome fellow demons, he will start a rival group, the Saja Boys, to try to lure Huntrix's fans to the dark side. What neither Jinyu nor Rumi see coming is just how irresistible the 2 pop stars will find each other. The resulting human-demon rom-com plot might be predictable, but not the twist that K-pop Demon Hunters, which hits Netflix the same day Pixar's Leo opens in theaters, turns out to be the more entertaining of the 2 animated offerings. That's because co-directors Chris Appelhans, Wish Dragon, and Maggie Kang, who's worked in the story departments at DreamWorks, Blue Sky and Illumination, use their unapologetically silly premise to unleash a far more playful approach to computer animation than any of the aforementioned studios have tried. The creative team takes its cues from webtoons and manhwa, Korean graphic novels, emphasizing dynamic silhouettes over smooth in-between movement. Not clear what that means. Watch how the characters hit and hold lively key poses as the camera glides and zooms around them. What started as a cost-saving measure on animated series such as Speed Racer and the Powerpuff Girls back in the day now gives K-pop Demon Hunters a distinctly Asian flavor, further embellished with cute comic book touches. For example, when Huntrix first glimpsed the Saja Boys, the gals stop in their tracks as their pupils swell into puffy red hearts. Reacting to how ripped the guys look, Zoe's eyes change shapes several more times, from six-pack ABS to a pair of buttery corn cobs. The love-struck young lady's reaction provides an unforgettable alternative to the Randy Wolf and Tex Avery's Red Hot Riding Hood cartoon, as twin streams of popcorn erupt like happy tears from her flushed red face. Instead of being gross, the violence proves every bit as visually appealing. The trio's weapons are so sharp, they slice clean through the demons, easily identified by jagged purple markings on their zombie-like skin, or else cause them to explode into a burst of confetti. Later, they swarm through a rift in the Han Moon, galloping on all fours like so many golems as they suck the souls from the nearby humans, implied more than seen, so as to preserve the film's PG rating. Fast and efficient, the movie blazes through an exposition-heavy first act in less than 15 minutes, which is right about the time we learn Rumi's secret. She's the daughter of a pop singer mom and demon dad who's marked by the same purple imprints as the spirits she swore to eliminate. The only person who knows Rumi's hybrid status is Huntr's trusted trainer Celine, Yeonjin Kim, who believes that Rumi can keep her demon genes in check, but the group's mentor never foresaw her plot copyright copyright falling for a bad boy like Jinyu, who's got a couple secrets up his sleeve as well. A subplot involving problems with Rumi's voice doesn't quite work, although it slows down the storytelling long enough for some fun character moments, like an action-packed trip to the spa and a short-lived staycation, complete with bubble tea and bingsu. You can't have a CG cartoon these days without adorable animal sidekicks, which come in the form of a grinning tiger demon and a blackbird in a tiny hat, both designed to look like they've stepped straight out of Korean folklore. The K-pop angle sets an obvious challenge for the filmmakers in that this tune needs some original tunes to make it sing, plus catchy choreography to distinguish it from vintage shows like Josie and the Pussycats and Gem and the Holograms. Compiled by a range of A-list music producers, the macaronic soundtrack, which mixes English and Korean lyrics, includes 3 hits for Huntr, performed by J.E., Audrey Nuna and Ryu Mi-yeong. How It's Done, Golden and Takedown, the latter covered by Twice over the end credits. Better Still is Free, a standout duet between J.E. and Arden Cho, Rumi's and Jinyu's singing voices, respectively. Because the nimble, genre-hopping movie is set in the world of K-pop, it may not even occur to fans that they're watching a musical, although it's kind of hard to deny as you catch yourself singing along. Number 2. Lest you roll your eyes and think of it as a 4-quadrant friendlier version of Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, KPOP Demon Hunters immediately establishes its premise, getting any prospective scoffing out of the way. For generations, a voiceover intro explains, girl groups have used their popular songs to secretly trap hordes of demons underground and keep the world safe. The latest group on their trail, Huntr, a K-pop girl band that, in its fight against the sinister Gwema, Lee Byung-hun, and his demons, is close to completing the Golden Han Moon, a protective barrier that will permanently keep evil forces at bay. But the girl group soon faces its toughest challenge yet, a demon boy band. With that somewhat silly logline behind us, what we'll find in this Netflix animated film, directed by Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhans, is an original universe that is charming, funny and artfully punchy. It's a Sony Pictures animation film that shares a kind of lineage with the studio's recent hit Spider-Verse franchise that is most apparent in the similar visual style, but otherwise what it borrows mostly is a more holistic and technical sense of the cinematic, a philosophy of approach that is rare in big-budget animation films. The action sequences are fluid and immersive, the art is frequently striking and the music, catchy, if formulaic earworms, is a properly wielded and dynamic storytelling tool. And as for the cheesy girl group versus boy band story, Kang and Appelhans have a sly sense of humor about it all. Too, the movie is funniest when it pokes at pop culture that is highly manufactured. From K-pop to K-dramas to mass-produced singing competitions are the very things the film itself would never stoop to. Number 3. 1 year after Brat's Summer, Chappell Roan's rise to stardom, and a full 6-month period where the lyrics "That's That Me Espresso" were stuck in every American's head, 2025 pop music has proven disappointingly ordinary. With the charts staler than ever and little new releases to enjoy on the horizon, pop excellence has to be found in unconventional places. Enter Huntr, a K-pop trio with banging leather outfits and a likable lineup that slots into the classic Powerpuff Girls mold. There's the childish and sweet Bubbles type Zoe, Ji Young-yu, the tough and sarcastic buttercup type Myra, Mi-yeong, and the blossom-esque earnest type A-leader Rumi, Arden Cho. Since June, the group has blown up in America with an album at number 3 on Billboard and a hit single climbing up the Hot 100. It's a particularly impressive feat for a group that isn't actually real, instead hailing from Netflix's animated musical, KPOP Demon Hunters. Since premiering on Netflix in June 20th to relatively little promotion, KPOP Demon Hunters has, via word and mouth and social media, blossomed into a bona fide success for the streamer and Sony Pictures Animation. As of this writing, It's the #1 film on the site, and its soundtrack album featuring the catchy multilingual earworms performed by Huntr, X and their rival group Saja Boys has produced moderate hits. The song Your Idol managed to reach #1 on the US Spotify chart, surpassing BTS Dynamite as the biggest song on the chart. In many respects, the film's success isn't exactly a surprise, reflecting on the widening market for K-pop and the many fans of Asian animation that are primed to enjoy a Western product that takes obvious inspiration from anime in its visual style. But thankfully, K-pop Demon Hunters isn't just a cynical attempt from Sony to cash in on a cultural trend. In the hands of directors Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhans, it's a endearing, beautifully animated crowd pleaser. With a dorkily sincere love for the pop culture phenomena it embeds itself in. The film's screenplay credited to Kang, Appelhans, Danya Jimenez, and Hanim Kane thankfully doesn't waste too much time on setting up or over-explaining the film's somewhat silly mythology. Each generation, a new trio of women has risen up to take on the mantle of maintaining the Han Moon, a magical barrier that seals demons from the human world. With the power of song. In modern times, that translates to the trio being the hottest girl group in South Korea, with legions of fans at every concert to buy merch and squeal like babies as they perform under the bright lights. Smartly, K-pop Demon Hunters picks up with the three women already having long come into their own as demon hunters, giving room for them to bounce off each other as friends. That's a very good thing, because it allows for fun, knowing jokes about the K-pop industry from the rabid fandoms to the corny variety shows burgeoning stars are forced to take part in and because the cast chemistry between the three women is a huge part of what makes the film such a delight. Statuesque goddesses on stage but utter goofballs in the privacy of their home. Huntr/X's personalities might be archetypical, but a combination of the three actresses' vocal performances and lively writing makes them likable and relatable as they slurp self-branded instant noodles and complain about the hiatus Rumi keeps pushing them back from taking. Comedic moments are where the animation, a mix of the sharp style of Sony's Spider-Verse films with some clear Eastern influence, also shines the brightest. The action is well choreographed, and the onstage performances are convincing replicas of real K-pop girl groups, but nothing in the film is as delightful as the way the animators contoured the faces of the leads with some manga-inspired faces and reactions. In a standout moment, when the girls first encounter the Saja Boys as their rivals not just on the charts but on the battlefield, a band of monsters sent to destroy the Han Moon from the film's unfortunately generic demon lord Daemira and Zoe's eyes shift from red-eyed cartoon hearts to a pair of six-pack ABS to popping corn, in a hilarious PG-friendly depiction of abject thirst. The Saja Boys are memorable creations of their own, an over-the-top collection of shaggy haircuts, dewy faces, and bright streetwear that instantly invokes the heartthrobs of BTS or Stray Kids. They're mostly anonymous grunts, though, with the exception of the dark-haired and soft-voiced leader Jinyu, and Hyo Sop, who immediately clashes with Rumi on a more personal level than just being on opposite sides of a demon hunter war, which belies an obvious attraction. For Rumi, stressed out about finally fully strengthening the barrier and carrying a secret she keeps hidden from both of her friends, Jinyu with his own complicated backstory becomes a safe space where she can finally feel like herself. Like much of the film's storyline, this star-crossed romance draws inspiration and beats from dozens of coming-of-age fantasies you've watched or read before. A more chaste version of Buffy and Angel, but K-pop Demon Hunters still makes it work. Cho and Dan create believably compelling chemistry together, and their relationship gives an otherwise light-hearted adventure some much-needed depth and weight. Introducing the Saja Boys also allows the directors an excuse to cram the film with more music numbers, most of which were written by real professionals in the K-pop industry. Contributors include Jae, who also provides Rumi's singing voice, who has worked on songs for girl groups like Twice and Red Velvet, as well as prolific pop producer Teddy Park. The result isn't necessarily a full collection of bangers. A few, opening song How It's Done, Your Idol, lean towards the generic and blend together too easily, but they're eminently believable as real K-pop songs you can stream in the real world, and the highlights say including Saja Boy's bouncy intro number Soda Pop and Huntr/X's big inspirational ballad Golden are spectacular. What's more impressive about the music in the film is how the directors find smart, varied ways to stage the songs. Some numbers like How It's Done are performed as the girls are fighting demons, while others like Golden are presented via music videos emulating the high-budget endeavors of real-world groups. Takedown, a nasty diss track, gets introduced in a montage as the girls create it, while Soda Pop is a spirited dance number. When Rumi and Jinwoo have a moment of understanding, they launch into a short love duet. The film's versatility with how it flexes its musical muscles makes the K-pop trappings more than just a goofy gimmick but the central and vital component of its storytelling. If there's a fatal flaw to KPOP Demon Hunters, it's that there's almost too little of it. The film's quick pace and short runtime may subtract the end credits, and it barely lasts an hour and 25 minutes is a boon at points, as the film moves on from its stuffier plot points. At other times, it glides a little too quickly away from depth. The film sticks to Rumi as the lead for expediency, giving Myra and Zoe short shrift storyline-wise, while also not digging nearly enough into the resentment Rumi feels towards former Huntr and surrogate mother figure Celine, Yeonjin Kim. The rushed climax also lands as slightly underwhelming, an overly easy resolution that doesn't give these lovable girls the ending they deserve. That said, who's to say it is the end? The last shot of the film seems begging for a sequel to be made, and the film's success feels like it could very well become a reality, and it'd be welcome too, giving the charming fantasy pop world of the film another chance to shine. Until then, fans will just have to keep streaming Golden as they await Huntr/X's comeback. Grade B. KPOP Demon Hunters is currently streaming on Netflix. Want to stay up to date on IndieWire's film reviews and critical thoughts? Subscribe here to our newly launched newsletter, In Review by David Ehrlich, in which our chief film critic and head reviews editor rounds up the best new reviews and streaming picks along with some exclusive musings, all only available to subscribers. Number 4. Since Spider-Verse, I've been excited about every new Sony Pictures animation project. Whether they are telling ambitious stories or inventing experimental animation techniques, they are the animation studio that constantly raises the bar for their rivals. These days, the hyperstylized 2D/3D art style they pioneered is now so common that DreamWorks and Disney Animation have also embraced it, with mixed results. But when it comes from Sony Animation, you know it's going to be good. When the studio announced KPOP Demon Hunters from Maggie Kang and Chris Appelhans as one of their more mature projects, it instantly shot to the top of my most anticipated watch list. Although it did not develop into the mature action film it was initially marketed as, the final result is a fierce family film that serves as a huge throwback to action and magical girl cartoons like Totally Spies, Juniper Lee, Winx Club, and the Powerpuff Girls but, like, Make It Korean. Just when I thought Sinners was the only supernatural genre musical with cultural significance this year. Throughout history, a trio of female demon hunters has doubled as musicians, tasked with protecting humanity from malevolent spirits. Now, that legacy is carried on by the K-pop group Huntr, led by the confident vocalist Rumi, Arden Cho, alongside the fierce lyricist Ryu Mi-yeong, and the bubbly rapper Jeongyu. Thanks to their efforts, the honeymoon of the magical seal dividing the human and demon realms is closer than ever to completion. But their growing success enrages their flame-wreathed nemesis, Gwema, by Eunhan Lee, leader of the demon world. To bring down Huntrix, one of Gwema's top demons, Jinwoo, and Hyosop, decides to fight fire with fire and create a demon boy band called the Saja Boys. Clad in human flesh, the Saja Boys debut and quickly gain popularity in Korea, even stealing the attention of Huntrix's fanbase. Now, Huntrix must take them on in a battle of K-pop idols. But when Jinwoo and Zoe begin to form an unexpected bond, tensions rise. Especially as Jinwoo uncovers a secret that threatens to jeopardize Huntrix's mission. Rumi has been concealing her half-demon heritage from Myra and Zoe. Huntrix just got a new fan in me from the outset. Pop captivates with its vibrant world-building and fast-paced, kinetic energy. laying the foundation for a multi-generational Korean demon hunting tradition and introducing the Huntr's trio through the eyes of their devoted fans. The trio is basically the Powerpuff Girls. Rumi is Blossom, Myra is Buttercup, and Zoe is Bubbles. Even Zoe's rap game harkens back to Bubbles going "I'm hardcore." The filmmakers were prepped for that parallel, and even show some of Huntr's fans in PPG-style merch, much like new jeans. Oh, yeah. I know some K-pop stuff, with those well-known archetypes in mind. Screenwriters Danya Jimenez Hanimkin and Kang Apilhens do a fine job of rendering the Huntr's team's familial friendship. Actresses Ji Young-yu, Mi-yeong, and Arden Cho also do commendable voice work, providing energy and warmth to complement the animation's frenetic style. On a story front, K-pop is most engaging and amusing when it is focused on the dynamic of the trio and their dual identities. The story primarily centers on Rumi and her endeavors to conceal her half-demon heritage. This is largely motivated by the influence of her adoptive mother, Celine, Yeonjin Kim, who was a member of the previous generation of the Demon Hunter pop group. The plot goes into K-drama mode as soon as Jinyu and his Soja boys come into the picture, and even more as Rumi and Jinyu's forbidden romance K-drama trope blossoms. The writers take full advantage, leaning into it with genuine dramatic elements and humorous self-awareness. However, the balance between Rumi's journey of self-discovery and her relationship with her band is uneven. Myra and Zoe are frequently absent well into the second act, as more time is dedicated to Jinyu. He makes for an alluring foil to Rumi, tragic backstory, hunky character design, and all that. However, he occupies a significant amount of screen time in areas where Huntr's friendship should be center stage. Pop has lofty ambitions, but not have enough time to realize them. As the film advances, the story aims higher, delving further into the backgrounds of its large ensemble. However, the convoluted plot elements remain largely undeveloped as a result of the film's brief 98-minute runtime. Many of the problems with the plot can be found in the climax, which feels rushed to an underwhelming degree. The film could have benefited from a longer runtime to fully realize its intentions, as it effectively maintained momentum up to that point. But whatever its shortcomings, the film mostly overcompensated with its animation and music. Visually, K-pop leans more into Spider-Verse's realm. Kang Apilhens have a sharp eye, particularly for deciphering which moments call for fast, expressive movement and which ones need a more subtle, dramatic weight. The action sequences are intensified by higher frame rates and blend zippy 2D action lines with a 3D backdrop. The film's unique, fully realized art direction gives the fleshed-out world a vibrant visual pop, using an explosive color palette derived from K-pop music culture. K-pop also uses a distinctive blend of 2D animated anime expressions on detailed 3D models, resulting in hilarious visual gags and physical humor. Pop's soundtrack is Oscar-worthy. Pop features some of the most catchy genre-bending original songs in film this year, complete with visually stunning musical numbers written and produced by various Korean artists including Ryu Mi-yeong, Audrey Nuna, and some members of Twice. Frankly, Pop and Sinha's soundtracks clear all of this past year's Best Original Song nominees, especially the horrendous winner. Similarly to previous Sony animation films that became Netflix exclusives, Vivo, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, K-pop Demon Hunters is far too dazzling to be seen on a small screen. Not to brag, but when I saw it at the Paris theater for a press screening, it was mostly empty and I was having a ball, tapping my toes and bopping my head. I strongly encourage you to look up showtimes since it is getting a limited theatrical run in some areas. Seeing it in a theater is a friggin' blast and was truly one of the best theatrical experiences I've had all year. Final statement. Maggie Kang Chris Apilhens. K-pop Demon Hunters is a visually stunning animated genre bender, brimming with style, action, and a wonderful soundtrack that pays homage of K-pop and Korean culture in every frame. It once again proves why Sony Animation is the best in the biz. Number 5. I just finished watching the brand new Netflix animated musical, K-pop Demon Hunters, and not only are the songs stuck in my head, but I'm genuinely moved by the story told from this ridiculous premise. I'm not going to lie. When I first saw the trailer for the Sony Pictures animation feature a few months back, I thought it was a joke and likely to be a movie without much substance that's just capitalizing on the popularity of Hallyu. I was shocked to find myself so enamored with this movie within 30 minutes of the runtime. KPOP Demon Hunters is a fantastic love letter to not only K-pop music, but Korean culture in general. It's a movie that outshines the premise, and the soundtrack will also be running on loop in my car for a long time after. Singing and slaying like the title suggests. KPOP Demon Hunters tells a story about three K-pop stars that moonlight as demon hunters to protect the barrier between the human world and demon world called the Han Moon. For some crazy reason, the task of combating the demon world ruler, Gwema, has been passed on to a trio of singing ladies throughout history. The current protectors of the realm are a trio consisting of the cool and collected lead singer Rumi, the energetic and bubbly rapper Zo, and the easily frustrated enforcer Myra. Together they're known as the girl group Huntr. Beloved by their fandom, the group is riding high atop the music charts. If that doesn't sound like a ludicrous plot you'd only find straight out of a webtoon or manhwa, well, that's exactly what I thought too at first. KPOP Demon Hunters will win you over quickly with its self-deprecating humor, but also with its surprisingly deep message about not hiding who you really are inside. Watching this in 2025, I can't help but be reminded of another older cartoon that featured three best friends saving the world together and Totally Spies. Early seasons of that show made the three leading ladies so likable and fun to watch that is hard to replicate. I do see a lot of Totally Spies here, but just with a lot more emotional depth sprinkled on top. Yes, it won't be an action-adventure without some huge twist that pushes a major conflict between lifelong friends. It turns out that our lead heroine, Rumi, has placed enormous pressure on herself to defeat Gwema once and for all and to banish all demons because she herself is a half-demon. Born out of a forbidden love between her deceased human mother and a demon, Rumi has lived her whole life hiding her demon marks from not only the world, but her group mates at the behest of her foster mother Celine. Her singular-minded mission is further challenged when a demon named Jinwoo is sent to the human world with his boy band group called Saja Boys to combat Huntr on the music charts. The successful debut of the Saja Boys and their ability to win over K-pop fans contributes to the absorption of souls that build up the power of the Demon King as they prepare for an invasion. While enemies at first, Rumi finds herself drawn to Jinwoo as the two bond over her hidden secret that she struggles to conceal from Myra and Zo. There's a romantic overture subplot here that feels natural and quite sweet to see play out. I'm a sucker for the enemies to lovers genre, and while this isn't fully there and ultimately a bit tragic, you can't have a good Korean piece without some sort of romance in it. Thanks to Jinwoo's probing, little by little, Rumi finds herself less ashamed of her true self. It's genuinely a touching thing to see at times that I was definitely not expecting to see out of a premise that involves demon hunters and K-pop. Real cultured, you see. KPOP Demon Hunters originated from the mind of director Maggie Kang, who set out to craft a story that was intrinsically Korean. When you have someone with the mentality to craft a story they really want to tell, it usually turns out amazing. That's exactly what we get here. This isn't set in Korea and features Korean culture for the sake of diversification. Instead, it's a love letter and in some ways social commentary by a person who lives and sees how that culture affects her people. The entire theme about Rumi fighting with her self-perceived imperfections and hiding who she really was because she was worried she wouldn't be accepted by others is a direct reflection on Korean culture. That's how I saw it, at least. It's no secret that South Korea has one of, if not the highest rate of cosmetic plastic surgery in the world according to aesthetic medical practitioner. For much of the movie, Rumi forces herself to work almost religiously to be able to obtain her goal of sealing the Han Moon. The one person who truly knew who she was on the inside was also the same person who told her she needed to never let anyone know. The character of Rumi's guardian, Celine, is a complex one that didn't really get the screen time she needed to fully resolve her pre-notions and beliefs. All of her life, Celine has fed Rumi this idea that only by killing all of the demons and sealing off the Han Moon would she finally be rid of her demon side. She never once considered that Rumi could be comfortable living in her own skin. Even until the very end, Celine was dead set on changing Rumi. While I'm not Korean, I am of Asian descent myself and I totally related to this idea of an elder commenting on how I should appear and how I should act to fit into their society. Not only did that theory turn out to be false, but she never did allow herself to accept Rumi for who she was. This was the one awkward loose end that wasn't addressed during the 100-minute runtime. While Rumi's groupmates initially shunned her away upon discovering her secret, it was more due to the pain of learning that such a big secret was kept from them for so many years. They were hurt that they couldn't be trusted to burden that truth with her as they saw each other as sisters. That's what makes the finale even more epic when they reunite on stage for the final performance. Golden Music Man, we haven't even talked about the actual K-pop featured in here at all yet. The soundtrack consists of 12 songs, and all of them are bangers. There's so much perception and soulful meaning behind the songs and how they're incorporated into the story. I can't stress just how well executed many of these original songs like Golden and Takedown were to enhancing the emotions and critical moments of the plot. The good musicals seamlessly transition to their musical numbers without it taking you out of the moment. KPOP Demon Hunters knows exactly what it's doing and you can definitely tell early on. I think that's how I started taking it seriously too. You just can sense it by how well it executes these transitions. I'm not ashamed to say that I know a bit about K-pop girl groups. Back in the day I was a big follower of groups like Era, 2NE1, 4Minute, and Girls' Day to name a few. If you've watched our reviews over the years, you'll likely notice music videos from my all-time favorite group, being used as display test material. K-pop music videos really know how to showcase the beauty of a display with colors popping left and right and visuals you can't imagine out of your wildest dreams. Flash forward many years later and now my 10-year-old niece and her middle-aged aunts are completely obsessed with Stray Kids and BTS. KPOP Demon Hunters just gets fandom. I can't even say it's parodying fandom, because it's portrayed so accurately in the film. From scenes of the fans describing their biases, the different age groups of fans, and the rapid release live stages of K-pop groups, all of these things in the K-pop business are so accurately illustrated. You can't have a movie about K-pop without a legitimate K-pop group representing the industry either. KPOP Demon Hunters turned to Jang I-yeon, Jihoon, and Chae from the popular group Twice to legitimize the film with the Takedown track. Like I said earlier, all the songs are great, but I personally found Soda Pop and Golden to be the runaway tracks that you'll be humming along for weeks after watching. Original ideas. There's just so many positives to talk about with this film. I haven't even discussed the animation yet. Sony Pictures Animation is quickly developing a solid reputation for artistic creations that are displays of art. The Spider-Verse Spider-Man films are one thing, but to have a film like this also run along those same creative lines, I don't see any other studio pushing the art form and taking risks like this. This isn't a movie that is easily pitched or animated, yet they produced it beautifully. Scenes are sharp and vibrant with music video quality a broken bar while music videos being incorporated cleverly. Sony's found a formula that absolutely works and they should stick with it going forward. I also wanted to applaud Netflix for distributing this. In an age literally littered with sequels that reached double digits, or refreshes of dead franchises, a wacky original concept like this is a breath of fresh air. Netflix has greenlit some projects that most certainly would not have seen the light of day in traditional cinema or cable television over the years. Credit must be given where credit is due, and for Sony to sell this to Netflix is a huge deal for creativity and originality in general. Come backstage. With that said, however, I don't believe we've seen the last of KPOP Demon Hunters. The creative team behind this project is just too talented and passionate not to continue with these characters that they've created. There's not a lot of world building in terms of details, but that's not really the point of this story. I never once thought of what the scientific explanation of their lightsaber weapons was, or why the two human girls somewhat have superhuman superpowers. How does the hand moon actually work and what really causes it to be a barrier? They don't really explain a lot of these things that normally would drive me mad, but because I was so distracted by the music and this surprisingly emotional story, I didn't find myself asking these questions until after the credits rolled.